Welcome back to the Not Just a Pony Ride podcast. I'm your host, Katie Ott. Today, I have a really interesting episode with the president of HETI. So, Miss Vera is here today to talk with us about the organization. And HETI stands for Horses in Education and Therapy. And they are a federation, an organization that really supports collaboration and education within the field of equine assisted services. So, they have members in over 45 countries. So, really a global presence, and they are a membership organization with several different levels, and they offer lots of things, everything from access to online research articles towards sort of the typical membership things you think of, like online education and conferences and that sort of thing. It's just a very unique organization. They have 11 board members from 11 different nations, and they speak 14 different languages between all of them. So you'll hear Vera, she's from the Czech Republic, lives in France now, and I was so thankful to have her on the podcast today. So tune in to hear her from a more global perspective. Welcome to the show, Vera. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we're here today to talk about HETI. So, do you want to explain a little bit about you and your background in the equine world, and then we'll kind of get started?
Okay, so my history with equine assisted services, it's more than 20 years, 25 years. So my background is a physiotherapist specializing in pediatrics. And in 1998, I think I've seen hippotherapy on the TV. So that was the time that I decided I would like to do this one. I always liked horses. I was always riding horses, but I never been good enough rider, to be. It's my profession.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen this one, my destiny. Therefore, then I studied the courses. I have Czech courses. I have courses under American Hippotherapy Association as well. Because I speak English and a little bit French, so I have access a lot of other information, what is very good. So since then, I was working in the Czech Republic as a physiotherapist in a center where we also did education and specialized for really small babies. This is specialty of the Czech Republic and mine also.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was working in Saudi Arabia as a physiotherapist, and I was hired also as well to open a center there. So in 2004, I spent like 7 years in Saudi Arabia, creating, co-founding the center, and also creating education program
Wow.
for the physiotherapist, occupational therapist, and speech therapist. And then I came back to Czech Republic, and I was elected as the chair of the Czech Equine Facilitated Therapy Association, what is national association. I was working on this position for 8 years, and then I decided to go further. Therefore, I nominated myself for HETI. That first 3 years I was working as a HETI member. And now from this year, June, I was elected as a HETI president.
Congratulations. That's very exciting.
Yes, I like it very much. Thank you.
Good. You've had such a colorful journey in hippotherapy and equine assisted services, and especially being on the front of education and helping people get educated in proper methods and safety and how to do it and all of that. So if you could explain to me a little bit about HETI and what it is, it's an international organization, correct?
Yes, HETI is an umbrella organization for individuals and associations providing equine assisted services. It stands for Horse in Education and Therapy International. And currently we have members from more than 45 countries around the world.
Wow.
And what we try to be support for our members, source of knowledge, expertise, and also we would like to promote, like horse welfare. So we created this ethical guidelines that provide very clearly practitioners how to deal with horses, but also how to deal with their clients to keep the ethics. So it's a lot of in front of us because the question of equine welfare is hot topic, and we have to be aware of it, that even our horses needs to be well taken care of, and they need to work voluntarily.
Do you find that it's difficult to set some of those guidelines when it's internationally speaking because things are so different from one country to another? And I have not had the privilege of being overseas to see any equine assisted services. Have you come to the United States to see any?
Yes, I've been in United States 2 times. One, it was 8 years ago when I was invited by American Hippotherapy Association to teach the course Hippotherapy applications for toddlers.
Mm.
And also, so I've seen, I think, 2 therapy centers, and then I was in US this March for AHA conference,
Oh,
and also I've seen some centers. But as I was working in Saudi Arabia, and also I founded and I'm coordinator of the European Equine Assisted Therapy Network
wow.
that was founded 2019. And we are there like 30 therapists from 20 European countries.
Wow.
So already I'm always like international practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it's this differs. The
Mm-hmm.
practice differs, definitively, the approach differs, but the principles are the same.
Mm.
And what I feel from maybe past 6, 7 years, that there is a movement within our community, and there is a common link that we want to cooperate. And we understand that if we cooperate, we are much stronger, and we can actually promote this field.
Mm-hmm.
So when HETI was creating the ethical guidelines, I wasn't there, but I think it took a few years, maybe 2, 3 years, and it was international group, working group. They were making suggestions, consulting with the HETI members, and proceeding like that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I feel the most, that there is a willingness to get agreement.
Mm-hmm. Is equine assisted services and hippotherapy common knowledge for folks? Like in the United States, people don't really completely understand how it benefits our participants and our patients. Is it more accepted there by the
Mhm.
public? Does that make sense?
It differs.
Mhm.
It's so different. I've also been fortunate to be part of 2 very big Europe Erasmus projects.
Mhm.
What are, projects funded by Europe Union that always are 3 to 6 European countries cooperating, coordinating on some task.
Mhm.
And, it's Czech Republic, Slovakian Republic, we are next to each other, totally different.
Mm.
You have Portuguese or Spanish next to each other, different. German and France. It really differs
Mhm.
because you have different history of equestrian
Mhm.
history, and also each of us has different histories, maybe in how to educate
Mm.
people, and also how to do rehabilitation, physiotherapy.
Mhm.
So there are so many variables. But like with the European network, we actually created some competencies for us, for the physiotherapists and occupational therapists. And we cannot make one education system for all. It's
Right.
not possible. But what we can do, that we can create the competencies that we will agree, the basic competencies, what for instance, therapists working in equine-assisted physiotherapy need to know to provide effective and safe treatment sessions. If we will agree on this one globally, then we can include it in our education system. And then actually we can make it some level or even practitioners.
Yes, absolutely. So, a little bit more about HETI. It is a membership organization, correct?
Yes, it's membership organizations. You have several levels. The highest is federation member. That it's also the most expensive memberships. But these members, they have all this advantage, and they can be they vote actually what's going on in HETI. And then you have associate memberships, you have institute memberships for educational organizations, individual, senior, and student.
Okay.
And also we have 1 month free membership
Oh, that's nice. So you can,
trial.
yeah, try it. Okay, so why would someone want to join HETI? What are the benefits?
The benefit is that you are part of the global community. You have also access to some standard experts you can share. And then you have other advantage, for instance, like for past year, we publish educational webinars with very interesting speakers. So currently for members, the live streaming and the recordings are free. Then you have like a discount when it's every 3 years HETI Congress. You can publish or you can promote your center in our Global Gallop, what is international internet magazine, and other activity. But I think the mainly is to understand that the connection, the global connection and cooperation, that it really works, because there is our power to promote ourselves and to proceed and to really, because for all of us, the final product is happy, content client who just had effective and safe therapy. And also we need to look more about our horses. And we can work on this one only when we connect our knowledge, experience together.
Yes, that's profound. I agree. I think the equestrian world is so built on knowledge, years and years of knowledge and experience in working with these animals, because they don't communicate with us the way humans do, right? So we spend a lot of time observing them and working with them to learn from them. And so I think the more we can connect and collaborate to share those experiences, the better.
Exactly. We can only gain from the cooperation. I really believe that there is no competition. There cannot be competition because there are so many clients in need. So we cannot compete to each other. We can only benefit from cooperation, and we can create much more opportunities for our prospective future clients to get, again, effective and safe therapy session.
In Europe, is there in America, we're struggling with our horse market right now. It's very expensive and more difficult to find good horses for our programs. Is it similar in Europe?
I can speak for the Czech Republic. It's not easy also. We had in the Czech Republic in 2011, we implement like a specialized testing and license for therapy horses. So also we started to collect data, so we have quite interesting statistics. And it's this 2011, it's only 13 years ago. They were like 50% of horses, they were older 15 years. And And you know how it is, that how it was that, okay, there is a horse that maybe is not suitable for the sport. Let's let him do hippotherapy. But in the Czech Republic, within the few years, it has really changed, and now majority of the horses are age 8 to 10, and majority there is like 80 hippotherapy centers or equine assisted services centers, and their own horses, or they breed their horses from the babies and prepare. So this has changed. I can speak for the Czech Republic. Again, the European countries really varies, but I believe that the time when the old horses not suitable for other sports were given for hippotherapy or equine assisted services is over. But the horses are expensive, of course. The horses are expensive to buy. And in my experience, it was that when I was looking for a horse to my center, maybe 1 out of 50 was suitable for the sport purpose I needed.
That's interesting. Are you confused about equine assisted learning? Do you want to bring EAL to your center or advance your EAL journey, but you're not sure where to start or how to expand? Do you need support in choosing a certification or support for how to market your current offerings? All of your answers can be found October 24th through the 26th at the inaugural EAL Summit, brought to you by Leadership Adventures. The summit is hosted this year at Healing Strides in the beautiful Roanoke Valley, Virginia during peak foliage season. You'll learn from experienced educators, centers, researchers, and practitioners on how to begin or advance EAL at your center and add programming and revenue streams to support your center's sustainability. In 2.5 days with 24 options for sessions across 3 tracks, all eligible for PATH International CEUs, hear 4 featured speakers, panel discussions, visit qualified vendors, attend networking receptions, dinner entertainment, clinics, and more. You'll walk away with tons of new EAL ideas, resources, tools, and connections. Join Leadership Adventures at the EAL Summit from October 24th through the 26th to collaborate, innovate, and accelerate your EAL journey. Tickets and all the details are available at www.equineassistedlearning.org and in the show notes. So HETI is a nonprofit organization, correct?
Yes, HETI is nonprofit.
Are the majority of centers in Europe nonprofit as well?
The centers?
Yes.
Again, it's very much differs. In the Czech Republic, majority NGO, non-for-profit. Then other countries, there are more even private centers, you know, like what I know in the UK, there are therapists that they work for themselves and they just hire horses for each for certain day and a certain hour. Then some countries, they have their centers connected to the hospitals or some other rehabilitation centers. So again, it differs. How is it in the US?
I would say the majority are nonprofit. Yeah, and we do have some, like you said, therapy centers that are kind of cash rate, like they pay for their services like you would therapy in any other clinic or hospital or something like that. But the majority are nonprofit for sure. Does HETI provide any help or assistance with business, helping the nonprofit centers run?
HETI doesn't have, unfortunately, funding, you know, to support any centers like that. But we can support, and we do support members, that we can provide expertise, we can provide the advice, and also the experience. Like for instance, for this past HETI Congress that's been in June in Budapest, we had one block for 5 countries that they were establishing their national association. So they were sharing their experience, and I think this is very good value.
Yes. So you do online education. I see your posts on Facebook. Who does the majority of your education? Do you pay instructors to do those things, or Is it people from different centers? Who helps you with the education piece?
For the education, HETI provides so far just the educational webinars. And then they are free for the members, and the speakers are so kind that they give us their hour for free. So we are lucky. And because we are international associations and they are willing, very interesting speakers.
Do you ever have a language barrier since you're an international organization when you're providing education?
Of course, we have. And, our board members, we are nine board members from 9 countries. I think we speak around 14 languages.
Oh, wow.
And then we have the jure member from Belgium because HETI is registered in Belgium. And then we have Kirstin, our executive director. She is Irish. So we have 11 nations together to discuss. And some of us a little bit struggling with the English. Also, we offer now the members or people who are interested in HETI that if they don't speak English, and as I said, we speak like 14 languages, so they can find somebody who will understand them. And like when you have this webinar, the technology is really going further so fast. So now even the webinar, you can choose automatic captions in your language.
Yes, that helps a lot, being able to translate.
Yes, it is. Do you speak any other language?
No, only English. A little Spanish, just enough to get me by. Does HETI do any research or fund any research?
HETI doesn't do actual research. HETI publish HETI journal that has like 30 years of history.
Oh, wow.
And you can see it on our website that you can buy the hard copies or past to issues, or there are also online version of all articles.
Oh,
So really we recommend you. You don't need to be member. You can go and you can see it on our website. It's very nicely organized, so you can easily find the study if it concerns to your interest. And HETI is very tight cooperation with Horse and Human Research Foundation.
yeah.
So we have some projects together. One is that we are preparing Erasmus project because we would like to make some research hub that, will be like open source. But still it is in the process, and also try to be, also are cooperating with other organizations like IOHIO and also FEI.
Yes.
So why to be HETI member? Because there are things that you can really benefit being HETI member that you cannot find on the internet. And then it's one of this is influence and advocacy, because if you are part of an organization that advocates for standards, ethics, and the professional development of EAS on a global scale, it gives you a voice in shaping the future in our field. What I think is very, very important. Then it's global networking and collaboration, because HETI offers endless opportunities to connect with an international network of experts and participate in forums, webinars. We are having roundtables, live roundtables in the HETI Congress, and we foster collaborations and also share learning. And also we offer the access to the expertise and resources, because it's important that we like fulfill the needs of professionals in this field and connect them again. Okay.
How do you collaborate with Path International?
PATH is a national association based on USA, and PATH is our federation member.
Okay.
HETI history reached 50 years this year.
Yes,
It
I was
was
going to ask how old it
1970.
was.
Yes, it was 1974
Wow.
when people interested in this field, they met in France and discussed of necessity to create organization, for these purposes, to connect, collaborate, communicate. So all these national organizations, if they are our members, it's perfect because then they can actually extend this collaborate, connect,
Mm-hmm.
cooperate.
Mm.
What is federation members? They can create like a meetings, like UK
Mm-hmm.
is working on this project very well. So they meet twice a year with their members in the UK. Always the HETI representative is there to help, to mediate, to moderate, whatever they need, how we
Mm-hmm.
can help, and sharing information.
So, what is the biggest topic at HETI right now? I know you mentioned equine welfare. Is there
Mhm.
other things that are on top of your guys' to-do list?
We started in June, and then we have in front of us creating a strategic plan for next 3 years.
Mm.
And so, of course, we discuss what is now important, and it brings us more and more to the topic to be really useful and beneficial for our members.
Mm.
So therefore, we started some new projects, like October will start HETI Live, what it will be monthly Zoom meeting. It will differ the days and the times because as we are international, there are different time zones.
Mm-hmm.
And the HETI board members will rotate as the moderators. And this is one of the that we would like to really get closer to our members, that they can come, they can ask, not only every 3 years and the Congress where they could meet us. And there are few more activities. We also open Facebook group for HETI congresses, so people can share or they can see how the congress is really beneficial and how
Mm-hmm.
it's important to meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all this technology is amazing, that we can meet, we can speak, we can see each other. So we have few more points how to get closer to our members and how they will feel, be happy and worth paying the membership for us.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think we are on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, the second hot topic is the social license to operate. And
Interesting.
of course, research, terminology. There are so many,
So many, yes. Terminology is
so many
always the
that
hot
we
topic.
can really uh, be useful in this topic and the connect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And getting the experience from everybody on their perspectives, I think is really important from all members in all places.
Exactly, because it's so different.
I've
I
learned
just want
so much
Yeah,
today.
really. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I'm not sometimes clear because sometimes I'm looking for words. Now as I'm living in France, so I try to speak French and then sometimes to switch off English. It's not so easy.
No, that is totally fine. I think that's a beautiful problem to have, Vera.
What I always say, when I was chairing the Czech Association, that when we had the people from abroad, like for instance from the Erasmus project, I was telling them, if you ask us, we will answer, and you can skip 30 years of
Hard times.
experience on and off with working. It's not really. So you can jump over the 30 years and you can start from the very good point.
That's
We need
right.
if you ask, and as I said, in our field doesn't exist a competition. It's a nonsense. So uh, we don't need to keep information and experience for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be prepared that the new way can be very challenging for you, that
Mm-hmm.
the new way is coming, and maybe you will have feeling that what you ever done maybe was not good, was wrong, was different, and you need to be wow, and say, okay, let's try this different approach.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't
And it
mean that what you were doing was bad or that, you're a bad therapist or a bad instructor.
no,
It just means that there's different ways and we have to be open to that. Well, Vera, this has been wonderful. I won't take up too much of your time. But I wanted to, first of all, just thank you for being on the show and sharing your expertise. I really appreciate it. And secondly, I always ask my podcast guests a question at the end of the episode. And this season it is, what is your golden rule? So, what do you try to live your life by, or kind of your life motto?
I try to live my life with joy and to do what I really want to do from my heart.
Mm-hmm. I can tell. It radiates out of you, Vera, that you are doing what you love and your purpose.
My purpose, I know the purpose for since 1998 when I seen this hippotherapy on the TV. That was just, how you call it, the aha moment.
Yeah, the aha moment.
The aha moment.
Yep.
What is I've heard it lately in some movie, I think, or who was saying, how do you know that is right? You know, because it feels so simple, because you just
Mm.
know.
The passion guides you. It doesn't feel that hard.
I agree. I agree. And I love hippotherapy. I love HETI,
Hmm.
and I like horses.
Yes.
So
It just
my dream came true. Sure.
it's right. It just makes sense. Well, thank you, Vera. I appreciate you.
You
And
are very well. You are very welcome. It's a pleasure to speak on this topic.
yes.
Bye.
That's all for today. But until the next episode launches, scroll down to the show notes and click on the link to get plugged in with us on Facebook, Instagram, or our exclusive educational club at Patreon. This podcast is presented by HETI University, the educational arm of Heartland Equine Therapeutic Riding Academy in Gretna, Nebraska. HETI University's mission is to provide high-quality educational offerings to the EAS community. Check out all the HETI University has to offer at www.hetrauniversity.org.